every revolution or every political movement or any kind of change, and having someone, okay, CIA, which is fucking for you to call me CIA when you know I'm not.
Everything was politicized. It was, oh, this is when we became the left versus the right. But both sides are trash. In COVID,
his own thing. So it seems to be that money's the issue, that like we're using money and that's how politics is being pushed. Because now we've seen what someone does when they use their own money and it doesn't seem to be a solution. So I feel like we take money out of politics, we'll have a much better political system.
Politician, you think they're gonna come out and tell me the truth? They was lying to my mama. They ain't gonna never tell us.
So everybody, we look at certain things just because, oh, this happens in the hood or we see this every day. All the way up. These people were speaking truth. King, we could talk X, we could talk it all. They were speaking truth.
What's going on in anyone's mind, but let's take it as a given that Gray's argument is true, that the argument to not have ID is that it would be discriminatory versus certain socioeconomic brackets or something. It's like
the world's greatest trial run of what people will do and what people won't do. And we are the only country on the planet that really fought against the government. A lot of it,
because you focus on 80-20 issues. I'm looking at the Epstein issue as we have 80% of the information we need to prosecute these people that actually did anything, but you're focusing on the 20% trying to take down Donald Trump, which you're never going to get. So I'm going to keep sitting here with a smug-ass face on every single day.
I'll explain. Good question. I'll give you the answer. The Republican Party constantly talks about transgenders and transgender surgery to minors.
I'm mostly on the left, ideologically, but I don't associate with the Democrats because they're not ideologically on the left. The Democrats are clowns, and they're also losers.
About to be any engaging conversation. It's not about to be any discourse about different political ideologies, what works and what doesn't. If that is the outcome, right? For example, I'm not gonna go and just put myself in the middle of a KKK rally.
Verify me, I'm not a fucking Fed. They always do this. I'll say this, right? But they did the same thing to Nick. We've seen the video. They'll call people who are genuine and authentic Feds because
the interesting thing to me is that the ones that claim that they believe the Constitution are now trampling the Constitution. The ones that said they believed in the First Amendment, the freedom of speech, right, are now going against the freedom of speech.
Perspective.
They don't have no plan. They don't never talk about nothing positive about the Democrat Party. Everything is just anti-Trump. They're not willing to have a conversation. They call us fascists. We willing to have a conversation. Charlie Kirk's willing to have a conversation.
Return to the Oval Office. genocidal war on Gaza. He put his name on a 20-point peace plan that has failed to prevent the killing of hundreds of Palestinians. He made his case for a Nobel Peace Prize while authorizing more than 600 airstrikes in 7 countries, ordering the abduction of the president of Venezuela and threatening to take Greenland. With the motto, "Drill, baby, drill," he opened more than 2.5 million square kilometers of ocean for offshore drilling, signaling an end to federal environmental protections. He reversed at least 30 Biden-era climate policies by executive order. Trump's year wasn't without scandal. He pardoned more than 1,500 people charged or convicted in the January 6th Capitol attack. And despite a bipartisan law requiring disclosure, his Justice Department released less than 1% of the Epstein files. Most of his claims failed PolitiFact's fact checks. Just as he completes the first year of his second term, 42% of Americans approve of his work, 5 points lower than at his inauguration.
I don't believe
but year
it.
2 in office will...
The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're gonna keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Kamal.
I'm Enzo.
I'm Doc.
It's Mia.
And tonight on the new party, that clip, very first clip you guys saw was a summary of the backlash that Trump faced while he was overseas in Davos, Switzerland for the NATO conference that they had. And the second clip was facts, depending on how you look at it, of his first term. So, Enzo, is that everything you voted for?
The propaganda? Yeah. I'm all for the propaganda that's going to be put out there. I mean, like, where do I begin with the bullshit that was stated? Talk about the Nobel Peace Prize, but he bombed 400 had like 400 strikes. Motherfucker, Obama did 65,000 strikes and got the Nobel Peace Prize, and nobody mentioned the strikes. Pardoned the 1,500 people who were wrongfully accused. Yeah, there was about maybe like 100, 200 of them that assaulted cops. Not every single one of them. I don't even know where else to go with that. Listen, you're going to have liberal media put up liberal bullshit to try to bash Donald Trump. But if a Democrat was in office, they could have literally slaughtered somebody on the White House lawn and they would have said it was justified.
Well, he took a lot of heat this week in Davos. Let's listen to the Prime Minister of Canada and what he had to say about Trump and everything going on in the world.
It seems that every day we're reminded that we live in an era of great power rivalry, that the rules-based order is fading, that the strong can do what they can and the weak must suffer what they must. And this aphorism of Thucydides is presented as inevitable, as the natural logic of international relations reasserting itself. And faced with this logic, there is a strong tendency for countries to go along to get along, to accommodate, to avoid trouble, to hope that compliance will buy safety. Well, it won't. So what are our options? In 1978, the Czech dissident Václav Havel, later president, wrote an essay called The Power of the Powerless. And in it, he asked a simple question: how did the communist system sustain itself? And his answer began with a greengrocer. Every morning, this shopkeeper places a sign in
Oh my God, this guy is so boring. So you want to know something? A liberal friend of mine watches the show, and they're like, "You got to see the clip from the Prime Minister of Canada. It's life-changing." And I'm like, okay, so I find the clip. He almost just put me to sleep. Kamal, what do you think? Did you hear anything he said?
Not really. That shit was a snooze fest. But Enzo, bro, we got enemies in the chat, man. Shit, they going at you, going at me. God damn. Ryan, play nice now, bro. You know what happens.
I love having haters.
Man, they hating on us today in the chat. God damn. But yeah, that was, I don't know what bro talk about. That was very lackluster. You feel me? Did y'all hear about Denmark though today with Greenland? Or y'all?
Yeah, we gonna talk about that next.
Okay.
We get Greenland next, but all right. I got this clip. This is for Kamal and Mia. This is your governor, Kamal. This is what he had to say.
They're going to try to take.
Oh, here we go.
Down. Not just my state.
Why was he
I'm
there?
not naive about what I've said this morning.
Because he has the
and how that'll
fourth
be
largest
reflected
economy in the
official
world.
White House account. I'm not naive about the fact that he threatened to prosecute the Fed chief in the United States of America, who's literally going after his enemies with the FBI and the DOJ and these power ministries. I'm not naive about any of this. I'm not naive about the corruption and the graft at a scale we've never seen in American history. I'm not naive about folks writing billion-dollar checks to Witkoff, to Jared Kushner for this new peace deal they're announcing today. I'm not naive about the fact the President of the United States made $1.5 billion+ in the last 12 months, personally. How the hell are we putting up with this?
Mia, why is poor Gavin Newsom and the blue people putting up with this? How dare they?
I want to know where all the money went that California spent on their homeless. I think it was over $20 billion. And the outcomes for the homeless after injecting tens of billions of dollars into California, literally enough money to house every single homeless person on the streets of California today, they still ended up with over 6 figures more on top of what they started with. So, I mean, don't throw stones through live in a glass house, buddy. I'm sorry. Those without sin shall not cast the first stone. What about that high-speed rail that you were supposed to build where there's like 2 concrete barriers and a crackhead hanging out? I want to know what happened to that. It's very interesting to me that people who think they are doing something when they have nothing to show for what they've done. I mean, California has had 2 oil refineries close because their over-regulation and expensiveness is now, no matter the oil situation in the United States, California will never see oil under $3, period, because they don't have enough refineries to refine the oil, because Gavin Newsom has made it so difficult for businesses to thrive. California has a net negative. More people are leaving California than going to them. So it's interesting to me where people who, economically speaking, he's a terrorist. He is a literal economic terrorist for California. He inherited $60 billion surplus, and now they're like $300 billion in the net negative. So he needs to shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down. No.
Kamal, as somebody that lives there, what's your thoughts?
Mia, you right, but I can't keep having you shit on California now. I mean, I'm out here now. You feel me? You right about everything, but damn. Shit. Hey, look, we know where the money went, y'all. It went to Gavin Newsom hair products and skincare. It went to that shit. All right? And Mia, you right. The homeless problem out here, I'm in San Diego and shit got worse. But if you homeless in San Diego, you kind of cool because, I mean, it don't rain too much out here. The sun be shining. You could go to the beach. You feel me? Now, if you up north, in NorCal, it's a little different. It rain a lot out there and shit. You feel me? So, yeah, I'm just
I
saying,
think you
like,
convinced me to move to Cali and be homeless.
You know what's crazy?
Is
if Gavin Newsom was short and fat, nobody would listen to him. 99% of the reason why people listen to him, and he's constantly in the polls, they all say this. Like every metric of data says it's because he is tall and attractive. But if he was an ugly man who was poor with a fat wife and fat ass kids, nobody would care. He would not even have a fraction of the clout, and he probably would not have won re-election. Half the reason that he's in his position, and the data reflected that last year, is because he's attractive.
I got this clip for you, Doc. We're gonna get you in here. This was Trump's response to that boring prime minister.
Golden Dome that's going to, just by its very nature, going to be defending Canada. Canada gets a lot of freebies from us, by the way. They should be grateful also, but they're not. I watched your prime minister yesterday. He wasn't so grateful. But they should be grateful to us. Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that, Mark, the next time you make your statements.
So basically, I couldn't handle the snooze fest, Doc, but let me tell you what he pretty much said in his statement that was long and drawn out. He was saying that you shouldn't be silent and complicit, because if you're silent and complicit, either way, the big bad Donald Trump is going to get you. He was alluding it was Trump that he was talking to. So Trump's response to that is, well, when we build the protection in the Iron Dome, you will be protected. What's your thoughts to that, Doc? What's your response to Trump?
I hate to agree with Trump, but only reason I hate to agree with him is because he said it so snarky, but he's 100% right. You know what I'm saying? I only hate to agree with him because of the tone in which he said it. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes Americans come off like assholes. When we go places, people think Americans are assholes, and he don't do us no justice saying it that way. But Canada is protected because they are, they are a neighboring country of the United States. They should have no disillusions about that. No one's afraid of Canada. I've been to train with some Canadian soldiers before. No one would be afraid of Canada. It's just like he's right on point with that. And I think they are on point and they know that. Most Canadians know that. I mean, Canadians are nice, agreeable people. They're hey, you're from the States, hey, you know what I mean? Like, so you know what I mean? Trump hit him right on the head, but I hate that he said it like that because everybody thinks you could be an asshole when you're American sometimes.
Well, speaking of a-holes, another little Frenchman insulted Trump. Let's watch.
To fix the war in Ukraine, we have to help the Ukrainians to resist and find a sustainable peace. We have to fix prosperity in democracies. I mean, it doesn't make sense to have tariffs and be divided. And even to threaten now with additional tariffs. The crazy thing is that we can be put in a situation to use the anti-coercion mechanism for the very first time vis-à-vis the US if they put additional tariffs. Can you imagine that? This is crazy. I do regret that. But this is a consequence of just unpredictability and useless aggressivity. So what we have to do is to remain very calm, all of us. We have such an agenda with so many opportunities and so many challenges. So let's be focused on peace in Europe. Everybody should be focused to help the Ukrainians to have a sustainable peace. Level playing field and fixing the issues and these imbalances with China, because it's an issue for the Europeans and the Americans. And third, let's be focused on more competitiveness in Europe and this big acceleration, full stop.
Actually, he was at the World Economic Forum. Let me correct myself. I'm sorry, guys. It's all the same. It's all a bunch of bullshit. It doesn't matter. But anyways, Enzo, what's your response? He's saying this is what we should be focused on. What do you think? Do you think we're going to remain in NATO, or will we finally cut off this drain on our economy and our country and our taxes?
That was Macron, right?
Yes. The little French man.
I think it's very, very tough talk that the French are saying that we need to back up Ukraine. When has the French ever really done anything after Napoleon? They've literally raised the white flag in every single war that they've ever been in. They've been bailed out of every single war. That anything after Napoleon or helping the United States in 1776, they have not been relevant on the world stage whatsoever. The only reason they're relevant is because they're a nuclear power right now. My humble opinion on NATO altogether, that is a relic of the Cold War past that should be dissolved altogether. There's no reason to have it whatsoever. The only country to ever invoke Article 5 was the United States after September 11th. But I mean, we could have handled Afghanistan by ourselves anyway, with the way that it all went down. And as you can see with 2003 as well, nobody really went in there to help us. So I don't think we should be in NATO. I don't think we should be helping Ukraine whatsoever. I think the world should be having better ties with our adversaries, because if, Clinton didn't do what he did, Russia would not be our adversary for the last 30 years, and NATO did what they did. We wouldn't be in all these wars. And at the end of the day, Europe really just needs to abide by the United States. I'm sorry to say it like that, because if it wasn't for us, like Donald Trump said in his speech in Davos, they'd be speaking German and they'd be speaking Japanese, a little bit of Japanese right now if it wasn't for us. So,
exactly. Yeah, those are all very good points. The other thing that happened at the Economic Forum, let's see what the CEO of BlackRock had to say.
That outside the United Nations, this is the largest gathering of global leadership of the post-COVID period of time. For many people, this meeting feels out of step with the moment. We hear all about the elites. And how does that play out in an age of populism? How does an established institution make a difference in an era of deep institutional mistrust? And there's some truth to the critique. I believe in this forum for a long time. I certainly wouldn't be leading this if I didn't believe that we can change and make the world better. But it's also obvious that the world now places far less trust in us to help shape what comes next. If the World Economic Forum is going to be useful going forward, it has to regain that trust.
Mia, does the world trust the World Economic Forum? Why or why not?
No. We all see it. It's a globalist agenda. The World Economic Forum is only looking out for the globalists. There's nothing redeeming. There's no redeeming qualities about the World Economic Forum. We knew the man that led the last World Economic Forum ended up getting arrested on charges. So, I mean, it's all just a corrupt scheme. And Larry Fink he runs BlackRock, which we can tie to all sorts of the world's atrocities. So why am I going to listen to what I would consider a literal demon walking on this planet who has ruined the United States plus other places to lead the charge and trying to get people to believe that they mean well? These are the same people that told us we should be eating bugs instead of beef. That having Yup. These are the people that said we should be eating bugs instead of beef. These are also the same people that tried to tell us that farming was bad and that gardening was bad and we will own nothing and we will enjoy it. These are those people that literally say this on that same economic forum. So these people are batshit crazy if they think they're ever going to get any semblance of trust back.
Yeah, I mean, those are valid points. And this young lady right here, she explains the World Economic Forum as well.
Economic Forum has been around longer than I've been alive. It started with noble intentions. Has it been used and abused over time, especially by corporate greed? Their biggest members and contributors are the World Trade Organization, people affiliated with China, the United Nations, the World Bank. And so how do they all work together along with Larry Fink and BlackRock? What are their
So Kamal, what's your thoughts on the World Economic Forum? Should we trust them or don't?
Man, I ain't trusting no motherfuckers to tell us we need to eat bugs. Have they ate bugs? Shit. The hell? What type of bug? We talk about crickets, roaches? What the hell are they talking about? Like, it's okay. It's a little more healthier than beef. Get your silly ass out of here with that bull jive. No, I don't trust them at all after hearing that. Nah, but I will say this, though, I ain't gonna lie. We sounding like bullies on this panel today. We done said Canadian bacons, y'all soft as hell. If it wasn't for us, you feel me? Y'all wouldn't be popping. The French been surrendering since 1622 or some shit like that. They waving the white flag every time they get. Hey, we kind of bullies today. We the bully panel today.
I dropped the link for
Welcome
the
to
bug
America.
eating in the main chat. So it's a real thing. I dropped the link for the bug eating on the YouTube main chat. So you guys can click on it and read it. I'm not making this shit up. World Economic Forum. I dropped the link.
Ugh. Well, also, people said that Trump was a bully this week. He's worked out a deal to buy Greenland. We're going to talk about it. We're going to shift gears to that.
Piece of ice for world protection, and they won't give it. We've never asked for anything else, and we could have kept that piece of land, and we didn't. So they have a choice. You can say yes, and we will be very appreciative, or you can say no, and we will remember.
So, Doc, thank you for your service. I can never say it enough. As someone that served in the armed forces, do you think Trump was being a bully with Greenland, or should we just take it?
I think it's a little bit of he on a high. I think he realized how easy he removed someone from Venezuela, and he's on a high thinking that, like, you know, it would be as easy to take this property from someone else. Do I think they would beat us? Absolutely not. Is that something I would sacrifice my son to as well? Absolutely not. I know they have this notion that there's submarines going around Greenland and all of these things. We have the same technology. We have better technology than a lot of these countries. We're more than capable of defending ourselves. I don't think anyone's son needs to die. The country's been here forever. We never owned Greenland. So I think we would be fine. You know, we haven't owned it before. I think we will be all right if we don't own it now. So I wouldn't have anyone else's son die for something pointless. Also because, I mean, none of them are going to go. None of them are going to volunteer. None of them are going to sign up. So they don't know what it looks like. And I think just after people have seen some of these shootings on cameras and stuff like that, I realized that American people don't know what it really looks like when it gets ugly, because a lot of that stuff is light. So when you see what it really looks like and it's really bad, and you see somebody, the copper plate in front of it, and it melts when it blows up, and it rips through the truck, and it rips someone in half, and you take them out of two parts, and all of the guts fall out. I think that'll be a different feel for the American people to see that on camera. You know what I mean? So, you know, I just think people have to think about that. Like, would you offer your son up for this cause? And I wouldn't, so I don't think we should.
So we're going to talk about tonight, we're going to explain to the American people and our viewers why Greenland is or isn't important to be bought. So this clip right here, let's start with question. Nick Shirley went over there. Do they even want to be bought? Let's watch some of Nick Shirley.
I am here in Nuuk, Greenland. I will be asking the Greenlanders here how they feel about potentially becoming part of the United States. Donald Trump recently has been very persistent about the idea of making Greenland part of the United States, saying that the United States needs Greenland for national security purposes. Currently, Greenland is an autonomous territory of the Denmark Kingdom. However, most recently, the Prime Minister of Greenland has said that he wants to seek independence from Denmark, making this situation even more interesting. Greenland has key trading routes in the Arctic Circle for countries like Russia, China, Canada, the United States, making Greenland a pivotal spot in the talks of geopolitics. And this is not the first time the United States has tried to buy or acquire Greenland. In 1946, after World War II, the president at the time tried to buy Greenland for $100 million. Now let's go talk to the people here in Greenland. How do you guys feel about becoming part of the United States?
It's good.
Would you rather be a part of the United States or Denmark?
United States.
And you? United States or Denmark?
United States.
What makes you guys excited about potentially becoming a part of the United States?
McDonald's.
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 We
want fast food.
Is Greenland for sale?
No, we don't want McDonald's here. He will take all our resources from our nature and just use it for money. Greenland is only for Greenland.
But you guys are controlled by Denmark.
In some part.
Good or bad idea for Greenland to become a part of the United States?
USA and Greenland? I think it's okay. It's good.
Is Greenland for sale?
No, definitely not. And it will never be.
What if Donald Trump does buy Greenland somehow, some way.
He won't. Greenland is for the Greenlanders. And we don't want to be twice colonized.
And remember these two girls, as we will talk to them later in this video about how China has made their own attempt to gain territory inside of Greenland.
Do you think Donald Trump will buy Greenland?
No, we are not for sale, but understand him fully that he's protecting our right to self-determination. And he said he will tariff Denmark if they don't respect it. So that's very good for Greenland. Denmark threatens us with taking away our right to health and education.
Really? So you wouldn't be that mad if Donald Trump did buy Greenland?
He can't. But we will certainly cooperate with the United States. We already do.
How much would you bet that Donald Trump does not buy Greenland?
My fortune.
Your fortune?
I don't want to be American. I don't want to be Dane.
So what do you want to see happen with Greenland?
I think it's natural what's going on. We've been working for self-determination for many years. We have experienced some pressure from the coming president from US, but that should not shock us. That should not shake us in our work and wishes to realize our self-determination. So it's not about Denmark, it's not about US, it's about Greenland. Our problem is that we are situated geopolitical in the middle of two big superpowers.
Greenland could be looked at as a very vulnerable country, as there's only 57,000 citizens here.
But it doesn't matter how few or how many we are. This is our country, and we have taken care of this long before any people could live here.
Yeah.
That's part of our heritage.
All right, we're going to break up this. This is a long clip. We'll play the rest of it, but I'm going to get Enzo in here. Enzo, why should we support getting Greenland?
All right, so you can see I got my Make Greenland America hat on because it's cold as fuck. So why we should have Greenland? There's plenty of reasons. We can go the easy route and say it's just for the minerals and the trade routes, or we can go the route that everyone should really be focusing on is because of our adversaries having access to the United States. Put it this way, if NATO was not a thing, Greenland would be the only thing that's standing between us and Russia. You control Greenland, you control the war. It's not about just the submarines and the territorial waters off of the coast of Greenland. That's a part of it, but for us to go into World War III, or even we can look at it historically, look at World War II. Why did the United States win against the Japanese? Is because we owned so many islands in the Pacific. We had the logistics to keep that war going. The Japanese did not. That's why logistics wins wars, and by having Greenland as a part of us and having our bases there and having territorial control over those waters, we have a jump from there to the mainland of Europe, where the Russians would not. They would not be able to logistically hold and take on the United States at our home. This is the point that we're at in the world right now. Like I said before, if NATO didn't do what they did in the 90s with Russia and Putin, we would not be adversaries with Russia. They would not be arming themselves like they are to fight the United States, as well as with the help with China. We go into a major world war again. It's not going to be all these countries helping the United States. I'm sorry to say it. There's probably going to be like 3 countries that come to bat with the United States. The rest are going to fold within weeks to months. So this is just a major strategic part to get us to not be able to get to that point, as well as controlling the oil from Venezuela. This all falls into with each other to stop what China and Russia are trying to do for 27 and 29 by taking Taiwan, as well as their further advances into Ukraine or Russia, as they fear with the Russians. But
that's a very good answer. And like, if anyone has questions and you want him to elaborate, please send a super chat. In the meantime, while y'all send in those super chats, we'll watch the rest of Nick Shirley's clip.
And we have our rights.
In the past 4 years, the United States has given over $200 billion to countries like Ukraine, Israel, whether that be through military aid or financial aid. $200 billion is a lot of money. So that goes to show that we have a lot of money. If Donald Trump were to offer you guys $5 billion, and you guys have 57,000 residents here. Each resident would get around $100,000. Would you guys become United States citizens for $100,000?
No, I think not. Not me.
What do you think about Donald Trump wanting to buy Greenland?
I think it's a joke.
It is interesting as somebody who's from the United States because he did campaign on a lot of things, but he never brought up the idea of buying Greenland or taking over the Panama Canal, so it's kind of a new idea right now. Why do you think Donald Trump wants to take Greenland?
I think it's only because of the base, Thule base, because he's afraid of somebody's going to use it if they're not.
Would you feel more secure knowing that you have the largest military in the world, that being the United States?
No. I don't want the military in Greenland. We don't have anything to do with war, and we will never have something to do with it.
So are you worried that if Donald Trump does buy Greenland, war could...
He cannot buy Greenland, I'm pretty sure.
And what would happen if the military of the United States did show up here on your shores? What would the reaction be of the Greenlanders?
I think people is going to be afraid because, like I said, Greenland have nothing to do with war, and we will never have something to do with war.
The Prime Minister of Greenland did say he is ready to talk with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Does that concern you at all?
Not at all, because he's only saying it so if they want to expand on the Thule, because it's already written that they can expand and do what they want up there. So I'm not afraid of that.
Okay, so you're not afraid, even though your Prime Minister said he's ready to talk?
No, I'm not afraid.
Say the United States offered to buy Greenland for $5 billion. That would give you around $90,000 or upwards of $100,000. Would you become a United States citizen for $100,000?
No, I wouldn't.
How do you feel about the United States wanting to buy Greenland?
It's ridiculous.
And why do you think it's ridiculous?
Because it's not for sale.
What would it take for you to want to become a part of the United States?
Nothing.
And why wouldn't you want to become part of the United States?
Maybe taxes, the healthcare system.
Greenland is very interesting because you guys are in the Arctic Circle and you guys are the largest island in the world, and you guys have the bridge between the United States, Canada, and Russia.
Yeah.
So do you think Donald Trump wants to buy Greenland in preparations if there's a World War III to break out?
Yeah, but the thing is, Greenland is a very peaceful place. I don't think it's fitting to get some weapons imported.
Okay, so that'd be kind of your fear, is that if Donald Trump were to buy Greenland, it might cause some tensions here in Greenland.
Joke's on them. We already have a base there, I'm pretty sure. Right, Mia? Yeah, so joke's on them. Mia, what do you think about everything you just heard? Should we make Greenland great again?
I mean, it's pretty on par with them. A lot of them are native Greenlanders, whether they're descendants of like Inuits or whatnot. I mean, a lot of them don't want us there. And I mean, fair enough. However, I mean, it is what it is. They're too small to have much of a voice at this point in time. And the United States is the last superpower on the planet. And we're going to do what we want to do regardless. I hope there could be some sort of agreement. As I told you guys earlier, my prediction is we will enter into a stewardship where we get into an agreement with the Danish kingdom saying there's going to be certain parts of the island that we are effectively going to oversee and control regardless of what you say, and we'll kick you back some money once we start drilling for the minerals. That's how I think it's going to go down. And I think, unfortunately, Greenlanders don't have a pot to piss in and they don't have a voice, because at the end of the day, Greenland is still a territory of Denmark. Denmark controls all of their purse strings. They're the ones that enable them to have universal health care, any sort of pension benefits that they have, because Greenland's economy is so small and there's less than 60,000 people. So unfortunately, I do feel bad for them. They're not going to get any sort of autonomy. It just doesn't exist due to their geopolitical situation in the world. So, I mean, they should just get used to the fact that the United States will be stewards at minimum of certain parts of that country. And the deal has already been done with Denmark. They might as well just get used to it now.
And this is a visual representation, because everybody's visual, why we should get Greenland. Don't cheat. Welcome, Kimberly. So now that we hear the explanation, do you understand why we need Greenland? Is it a picture painting for you, or are you confused now more than ever?
No, that looks like a parody to me. What have you guys gone over so far? I'm sorry to be late.
A lot. We're on Greenland right now. So
it's not a parody. basically everything that she pointed out on that board, 99% of that was actual fact. That's in reality. Like, you can look up the LaShark in 2019 that did catch fire, that we did lose, the buildup of the troops in Russia ever since the fall of the Soviet Union. That is all true. Kriegen, again, the one base that we've had, that the only place we can support our nuclear submarines. All of that is true. Yeah, it's a show in a movie that what they're showing, but it's based off of real life events.
So no, I get the factualness of that, but that looked like somebody playing Hillary Clinton to me, and
I see what
it's
you're
like
saying.
Right. So it's like, sure, there are half truths to everything. Did you guys go over the Canadian Prime Minister's speech at Davos?
Yeah, we're way past.
Damn it.
We're on Greenland right now.
Greenland comes off as MAGA fear mongering to me. MAGA usually likes to throw out the fear-mongering thing. Russia can't beat Ukraine, which is smaller than Texas. But they tell us all these scary things about Russia. I've looked at the videos of I want you guys to go look at the videos of the Russian equipment that they have used to fight Ukraine with. They pull out these old-ass missile launchers. They've gotten 10 Russian generals shot in the face. Every leader who goes to the front line to lead Russia dies a tragic death in a month. When's the last time you ever heard of an American general being shot in the face?
Did you guys?
It doesn't happen because we don't happen. Greenland has become MAGA fear mongering. They're like, oh, but if we don't have it, we're gonna be taken over by Russia through the Arctic. MAGA has fear mongered their way into thinking that we need Greenland. And they like to use it, so it's crazy.
I don't think it's like take over. I think it's just logistics speaking. The last thing we need is an intercontinental missile hitting us. So I think at the end of the day, even if we don't take over Greenland, even if we come to a stewardship agreement saying, hey, there are certain parts that we would like to oversee of this island, we'll kick you back money for drilling or whatever we do, and we'll give the citizens some money as compensation if it encounters any of their towns. But at the end of the day, we are in World War III. Just because we haven't said it out loud doesn't mean it's not existing. Doesn't mean we haven't been fighting it for years now with chess moves and chess pieces.
Mia, you have a great understanding of America's missile defense system, and you know the likelihood of us getting hit with a transcontinental missile is almost non-existent. We may have the best defenses. Go look it up. Go watch the videos. It's on YouTube. And that's just the stuff they tell you. We have
Israel had an Iron Dome, and that didn't stop the Hamas gliders coming in.
Israel's the size of New Jersey.
I mean,
Israel's
there was
the size
also
of New Jersey.
order to stand down.
Border with Hamas. You would have to go across the ocean to attack us.
You would be a fool to think anything is indefensible and unprotectable. The Titanic was unsinkable and it sunk.
What about Russia has given you guys the idea that they could beat us in a fight when they can't beat someone smaller than Texas?
Why are we thinking Russia? I'm worried about the Chinese, bro.
That's what I was just going to say.
About the Chinese.
Here's
what about China has given you fear? What about China has given you fear?
Hold on, I'll tell you. So yes, we can take Russia, but here's the thing: Russia has a madman as president who will hit that dead man switch and launch nuclear weapons at any cost. I don't want to go into war with Russia. I don't want to go into war with China. I'd rather beat them on the economic front. So again, we can go back to controlling the territorial waters of the trade in of Greenland as well. That's one way we can economically cripple Russia as well. Right, we'll never be going to war directly with Russia or China if we make these chess moves correctly. And here's the thing: we need both of it. We need to protect the Pacific and as well as the Atlantic, because if World War III pops off, you're going to have attacks from both fronts. If you control one of the fronts, you're going to win that war. We've seen this already. We've already done this before. We're experts in this. We're not going to fight a two-front war. We're at a disadvantage this time. We learned from World War II. So by doing this is the one step closer to us controlling that if it ever came down to it. It's not MAGA fear-mongering in the slightest, because this is things that I've been saying my entire life. that we need to get out of NATO, that we need to have control over our entire hemisphere the exact same way we have control basically over the entire Pacific right now. That's the only thing we really have control over, and that's how we'll combat China.
Before people jump in, we need to give Kimberly a chance to speak. Kimberly, go ahead. We talking about Greenland. We passed Canada, girl. Meet us at Greenland.
No, that's okay. Well, it's related because what's been going on in Davos, honestly, I ran like 3 lights to get here because it was this is so entertaining for me. Why even watch movies or TV shows like that stupid one you just put on right now? Sorry, whoever watches that show. But the Prime Minister of Canada basically called our bluff because Trump tacoed so hard on Greenland that he no longer has a penis where his genitalia is. It's a fucking taco now because of how he fucking tacoed on Greenland. Anytime the markets sway a little bit, he fucking chickens out. And the whole premise of the speech from the Prime Minister of Greenland is honestly like I'm wagging my tail. It was so beautiful. It's hard to believe that it's real life.
Really, girl? We couldn't get through 1 minute of that shit. That shit
he was basically just calling our bluff and saying that there is no world order based on rules because we hold ourselves and our friends to a different standard that we hold the rest of the world. And him saying that out loud is like, okay, the only people who really needed to hear that are Americans, because Americans are the only ones with their head up so far up their ass that they think that US hegemony is eternal. It's not. People are already weaning off of the petrodollar. This whole idea that we need Greenland for oil or resources. Why do we need more oil or resources? To feed the war machine. And the whole so he was calling out the bluff of the illegal economic sanctions that we put on other countries, which we have, for example, on Cuba for over 70 years. And yes, it's also partly their doing, but us choking them out and impoverishing them, and what we do to Venezuela and how we did with Syria and how we're trying to do with Iran, because the only reason that their economy completely crashed in December was because Donald Trump enforced and strengthened those economic sanctions that they already had on Iran existingly right now. So back to Greenland, which actually had a lot to do with the speech from the Prime Minister of Canada. Honestly, I don't know what obviously, I think all countries are self-interested, but that speech is so groundbreaking to me. Like, it's like, I'm telling you, it's like we're watching a freaking movie because he's basically calling Americans bluff. And it's really hard to believe that we don't see it, because the next time I hear somebody say that we're going to save Iran because we need to bring democracy to Iran, give me a break. That is such bullshit, because that's the only standard that the United States gives themselves. And I said this during the 2020 election. I thought Donald Trump was going to win. And I said, the only silver lining that I see to Donald Trump winning is the accelerationist theory that everything needs to get worse before it gets better. And we're seeing it now with this second Trump administration, because he is so fucking insane. And he is so fucking moronic that the Prime Minister of Canada, literally a fucking banker and a centrist and a Harvard alumni, not a fucking working class hero, called our motherfucking bluff. And Donald Trump's response to that was so childish and so stupid. He was like, Canada better be quiet because we give them. Oh my God, I never thought I would say this, but I miss Barack Obama. I think he's the worst president of my lifetime. I wish I would have seen an eloquent, well-spoken response to that speech from the Prime Minister, because of all this fucking kerfuffle and bullshit that Donald Trump is going around stirring up, starting problems, and expanding the military budget and all this for fucking what? U.S. hegemony is not eternal, and we can't just go around saying or blaming other countries that Russia's bad and Iran is bad and North Korea is bad. We're the fucking worst. The United States is the biggest fucking bully since World War II. You can't name anything that we've done that is good for the world.
This is what Ryan had to say. He probably wasn't talking about you though, Kimberly. He said they don't know anything. They don't know anything about anything, especially Kamal. Kamal, you are the apolitical one of the group. Tell me, you've heard both sides. You've heard the pros, the cons, and the in-between. Should we take Greenland?
Well, first of all, look, Ryan, I said be nice, but now I'm taking off the goddamn gloves. I know you got 6ix9ine in your name, but look it, I ain't into that stuff, bro. Go try to get somebody else meat in your mouth, bro. This nigga Steak got my name and Doc's name in his goddamn mouth. God damn, Ryan. Shit. We don't like that shit, okay? Damn. Go play with your mama titties or something. Shit. Anyway, this is my thing. Greenland, you're not gonna get no fucking money. I'm telling you right now. America got a lot of debt to owe. You feel me? I don't even need to tell y'all my mindset. Hold on, y'all think y'all gonna get some money before you know us Black Americans? Shout out to Kelly. What's cracking? And I'll be damned if get the 100,000. F all that, you feel me? But I do get both sides, you feel me? Because Doc does make a great point. It ain't gonna be us going into the wars and shit like that. It's gonna be his son and shit. Or the people that are old enough to get drafted, they gonna be the ones fighting the war and shit, and we gonna be in our comfortable houses and shit. So I do get what Doc is saying with that. But I also get what Enzo's saying, you feel me? This is a prime piece of land for us to win the fucking war if it is in World War III. Okay? And I don't know. I ain't trying to lose. God damn it, I don't want to speak no goddamn Chinese. What the fuck? I don't
Or Russian.
You feel me? You feel me? I just said hello to y'all. All right? You're Russian. All right? But I'm just saying, you feel me? I want America to win because that motherfucker owe me some money. Okay? And I'm telling you right now, Greenland people, if y'all anywhere from Greenland listening and stuff like that, America ain't gonna pay y'all. You feel me? They gonna drill, get all the resources. They gonna be, yeah, we got you next Friday. Next Friday come around, Greenland gonna be like, where's the money? I got you on next Thursday. You ain't getting the money. I'm telling you right now. That ain't happening. And my final thought is, Ryan, you gotta worry about your mama having 3 left titties instead of us 2 Black men being on the panel and your stupid ass thinking we conservative or actually thinking we MAGA. We not Republican. God damn, get your head out your ass, bro. Doc, do you hear this, bro? He keeps saying we goddamn Republican and MAGA.
Yeah, they keep talking to you guys. I don't know.
Anybody, I think they think if you agree with any, like, if I give Trump his flowers for something he do well, and if I criticize him for something he do bad, you're MAGA, then you're liberal. That swing back and forth. like it's our fault, bro.
Yeah.
My Democrat friends called me Trumper, and then my conservative friends always call me communist.
Yeah,
communist.
Well, guys, we're gonna switch gears to another big announcement this week. Trump's Board of Peace. As you can see my picture, I kind of troll it. I'm sure Kimberly was rushing for this topic too. Let's watch what Trump has to say about his Board of Peace.
Wants to be on it, but yeah, I have some controversial people on it, but these are people that get the job done. These are people that have tremendous influence, and if I put all babies on the board, there wouldn't be very much. So he was invited, he's accepted. Many people have accepted. I don't know of anybody that hasn't accepted, but it's going to be great. I think the Board of Peace will be the most prestigious board ever, and it's going to get a lot of work done that the United Nations should have done. And we'll work with the United Nations, but the Board of Peace is going to be special. We're going to have peace. It started off with Gaza, the Middle East. We've got peace in the Middle East.
Jesus, if this is what they're holding up, the fucking bars in hell.
By taking out the Iran.
Because they still fight in Gaza, so I mean.
But the board is going to be, I think, really fantastic. And I think it'll be the most prestigious board of any board ever in world history.
Mia, you seem pretty fired up about this. Are we going to have a Board of Peace? My father's country, Morocco, is one of the countries that has signed on. So, I believe Morocco can do it. I'm just kidding. They fucking can't. They're still fucking at war in Gaza, and they claim to have been playing both sides between them. They play both sides between their Muslim brothers and Israel, but that's another conversation. What do you think? is there going to be peace?
I mean, no. Peace is not profitable. There's never going to be peace. Peace is not profitable. If peace was profitable, it'd be world peace. We'd all be living peacefully together. Kumbaya, motherfucker. But peace is not profitable, and we're never going to have it because money talks and the rest of it all just walks away. These people don't care as long as they're being paid. Do I think there are genuine people out there that obviously want peace? Sure. I would love peace everywhere. And in theory, I don't want anybody having to go to war, kids dying, famine, drought, nothing like that. However, I mean, if they're using Gaza as the gauge, the expectation is in hell. Like, the expectation is down in hell because people are still dying in Gaza. There's still a war over there. I mean, that whole conflict has not been solved. I mean, Russia and Ukraine have not been solved. Basically, nothing in the world's been solved. The only thing we've done is we've did a no-knock warrant on Maderos. That's the only thing we've done lately. Let's say is a no-knock warrant on that man. But other than that, all of the other conflicts, they're still going. So, I mean, I don't really have high hopes, but hopefully they do something. Hopefully.
Doc, do you have high hopes? Will Trump finally get that? Trump wants that peace prize, man. He done created the board of peace. How can you not give him the peace prize in 2026, Doc? What do you think?
No, I don't think he'd be able to make a board of peace. And the problem I don't think he'd be able to make a board of peace is because I don't think he would be able to indoctrinate the countries that could ensure the peace. So I don't think he could get those countries who have that influence to sign on because most of those countries see themselves as the top dog. So who's gonna, no one's gonna want to capitulate. You know what I mean? So I don't think it'd be possible. I think his board of peace might look a little funkier than what we would think peace would look like. I see they got the Dark Vader's joint and stuff on there. I think the ideal is a good idea that he wants to, bring something new because, all those old alliances and stuff, they aren't really serving us well. But I just don't think that this will come to fruition, at least not in his time in office.
Yeah, so let's watch his son-in-law, Jared Kushner. Let's see what he has to say about this peace that he's going to help with the Middle East.
A master plan. We brought in, I think, Yakir Gabay, who's one of the most successful real estate developers and brilliant people I know. He's volunteered to do this, not for profit, really because of his heart. He wants to do this. And we've developed ways to redevelop Gaza. Gaza, as President Trump's been saying, has amazing potential. And this is for the people of Gaza. And we've developed it into zones. In the beginning, we were toying with the idea of saying, let's build a free zone, and then we have a Hamas zone. And then we said, you know what, let's just plan for catastrophic success. Hamas signed a deal to demilitarize. That is what we are going to enforce. People ask us what our plan B is. We do not have a plan B. We have a plan. We signed an agreement. We are all committed to making that agreement work. There's a master plan. We'll be doing it in phasing. In the Middle East, they build cities like this in 2-3 million people. They build this in 3 years. And so stuff like this is very doable if we make it happen. Rafah will start with. This will show a lot of workforce housing. We think this could be done in 2-3 years. We've already started removing the rubble and doing some of the demolition. And then New Gaza. It could be a hope. It could be a destination, have a lot of industry, and really be a place that the people there can thrive, have great employment. Once this starts going, we think there should be 100% full employment and opportunity for everybody there. And we have a lot of data on what can be, but we think that this really gives the Gazan people an opportunity to live their aspirations. But it all starts with security, and it all starts with governance. Final note I'll just say on the Board of Peace, which is that all the lessons we're doing is we're basically studying the best practices from all over the world, and we're watching who does education the best, who does healthcare delivery the best. All of these things it's not secret IP. All this is IP that the Board of Peace is going to make public, and we want to encourage all the countries to be able to follow these best practices. A lot of the things that President Trump is doing in America, if they're working, we should all be copying them. If we find what's working in other countries, we should be copying them too. And so what the Board of Peace will have the ability to do if we're successful with Gaza is really show how do you do peace implementation, which is something that when we got this deal done, we didn't really find too much expertise or know-how on how to do it. So as we're creating this system, hopefully it's something that we can just document these learnings and make them available to all else who want to use them in the future. So demilitarization, this is something we're starting now that we have a new government in Gaza. This government will be working with Hamas on the demilitarization to really take the principles that were agreed to in the document to the next phase, and hopefully that will be successful. Without that, we can't rebuild. So if Hamas does not demilitarize, that will be what holds back Gaza and the people of Gaza from achieving their aspiration, and that's very important. So the next 100 days, we're going to continue to just be heads down and focused on making sure this is implemented. We continue to be focused on humanitarian aid, humanitarian shelter, but then creating the conditions to move forward. So thank you. Final point I'll just make is this is really only possible because of the work of so many people and President Trump's great leadership. But a lot of you have been asking, how can we help? So the countries have all been incredibly generous. We'll be doing the first conference where we'll announce a lot of the contributions that will be made in a couple weeks in Washington. From the private sector, there'll be amazing investment opportunities. I know it's a little risky to be investing in a place like this, but we need you to come, take faith, invest in the people, try to be a part of it. And then finally, I'll just talk to people on the media and on the social media, which is this deal only happened because we worked with Israel, we worked with Turkey, we worked with Qatar, we worked with Saudi, we worked with Egypt. I mean, everyone worked together. We worked with UAE. We all worked together to make this happen. I see a lot of people trying to escalate, criticizing Israel or Israelis criticizing Turkey or Qatar. Just calm down for 30 days. I think that the war's over. Let's do our best to try working together. Our goal here is peace between Israel and the Palestinian people. Everyone wants to live peacefully. Everyone wants to live with dignity. Let's put our efforts towards promoting those who are doing the work to build this up, like Ali and his committee. Let's focus on the positive stories, and let's just calm down, turn a new chapter. And if we believe that peace is possible, then peace really can be possible. So we're going to continue to work every day. We need all of your help to do it. And again, I just really want to thank President Trump for his leadership in doing this. This would not have been possible without your commitment to this. Everyone thought it was impossible to end this war. You never gave up. You never stopped. Every time there was a setback, you told us to try harder. You gave us different ideas. And we've made several impossible things happen just in Gaza to date. And there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to make even more impossible things happen. So really, thank you.
I want to go back to the start of this. Hold on. Where's the high rises?
So,
never mind. I have to pull it up. Kimberly, while I look for that, what's your thoughts? Will we have peace? You think this is real? What's going to happen to the people? They're going to ship them somewhere? What do you think? There was a lot of questions he didn't answer in that. It sounded nice. It sounded good. But what happens to the people? Like, where do they go?
I think they're going to try to exile them or have them again as second-class citizens in the new territory. Big picture, Israel has always said that they believe in a greater Israel, which includes Lebanon and parts of Syria and all of Gaza and all of the West Bank. And the problem with that and the problem with Zionism is that you cannot get that without murdering a bunch of people, which they already fucking have. And literally no other group of people or country or territory is forced to exist without a fucking military or some type of militarization. Similar to how they charged Maduro with like owning like what were those AK-47s? What the fuck are we doing here? Jesus Christ. I actually appreciate it when Donald Trump says the quiet part out loud. Like, we're kidding ourselves here about a fucking peace plan. There is no peace as long as they're second-class citizens. That's how they've lived in apartheid in the West Bank, and in Gaza, they've actually been in like what some, not me, but historians call a modern day concentration camp. And that's how you got the outbreak of Gaza in October 7th.
John, you trying to get us canceled. You know we can't answer this goddamn question. Try again. I love you, but I'm not answering that. And I don't want anyone answering that. The reality is we can't answer that. So with this being said, to answer someone, this is what's going to be paying for these high rises. This is the reality. It has to get paid for. You're not going to get, I hate to say it, you're not going to get billionaires of countries to care about these people unless there's something in it for them. I mean, do you agree with that, Kimberly, or no? You think people should just give them money to help them rebuild? The reality is the world doesn't work like that.
That's not true. Well, when we talk about the world doesn't want them, we're talking about like governments, right? Like
nobody wants those people in their freaking country. What?
They shouldn't have to. They should just live in their own land.
They shouldn't have to. But what I'm saying is, I don't think you understand my question. What I'm saying is, well, you're probably not going to get the question.
Well, when you get refugees of war and refugees of war-torn countries like you get with the Somalians, you're getting people who have been emotionally just devastated through like mass murder, impoverished situations. So yeah, they're not gonna be like A plus, you know, people, but it's also like they should be living in their land. People smarter than me have always fallen back to 1967 borders, two-state solution, right? But they're not going to get that because Israel wants a greater Israel. They want all of it, including all of Lebanon and parts of Syria, which they have to attack Iran for that because Iran backs them. So it's all just very sad. They've estimated about 100,000 to 200,000 people dead already. And that is sad. I don't understand what was so controversial about that guy's question, but it
is controversial.
It's no use in comparing because it's different.
No use in comparing. It's different. They're going to say it was whatever, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, 6 million, whatever the millions are.
It's a genocide.
They're going to say it's worse though.
So I get that it may be a difficult situation to fix the situation in Gaza, right? Why no one can fix the situation in the West Bank?
Because they don't want to stand up to Israel. Because Israel owns the Israel lobby owns the United States government.
The people in the West Bank haven't been doing the things that Hamas has been doing in Gaza. The people of the West Bank haven't been attacking Israel. But the people of the West Bank still live in apartheid. The people of the West Bank have still been killed by IDF soldiers, and they haven't been given fair trials. The people in the West Bank live under these same bad conditions. So maybe it is a problem in Gaza and people can't fix Gaza. I don't see an easy solution because I realize what's going on. Why can't we do something for the West Bank? What's the problem there? Why has nobody stepped up and fixed that? Because they don't have the same militarization and they haven't been bombing and storming over the borders.
It's not that they can't, it's that they won't.
No, you're a fucking idiot, Ryan. I'm sick of your shit. I'm about to block your ass. You've been getting on my goddamn nerves all fucking night. You're a fucking retard. The reality is, you know goddamn well who runs this fucking world. So shut the fuck up. Anyways, sorry, that's the fucking reality. The reality is it's not that fucking simple. Nobody is going to give anyone anything for fucking free. That's the reality. And this is why I stand with Donald Trump on this. Nobody is going to go clean these people's homes up, unfortunately. The reality is Donald Trump has to put this plan forward. Enzo explained it better than me. Like, this is the reality. I don't know what else to say. You're fucking dumb if you think otherwise.
So basically, like Nora was saying, there's going to be no country in the world that's just going to go into a war-torn area and not get something that they want at the end of the day. We've done this time in and time out. Look at what happened after World War I and World War II, the two most destructive wars in the entire fucking world. We went and rebuilt Europe twice, but we got something out of it. We got control over East Germany for what, nearly 40 years after, and then we gave them their independence after that, and we still have control pretty much with us controlling them in their military, supplying them through the EU, multiple things. They're gonna want to get their money back, because if we don't do something like this and you don't have countries come together and actually rebuild Gaza Gaza like how it is, it's going to turn into a country like Somalia. It's going to turn into a country like Burkina Faso, Libya. I think Iraq's a lot better now, but Iraq in the meantime, where nobody did anything,
Afghanistan,
it's going to turn into that. Do we want to put these people in a worse situation, or do we want to actually help them out?
That's not going to help the people out. It's just going to help a bunch of rich people get richer.
Okay,
what
cool.
we can do is allow for the
Somalia.
international community to send aid so that they can rebuild themselves and give them a two-state solution, 1967 borders. But we're not going to do that. Not because we can't, because we won't. Because
Kimberly,
Israel believes
the reality
in a
is
greater
Hamas
Israel.
No, because Israel's
Hamas steals their aid, and I'm telling you this as somebody of Arab descent.
I'm not here to
Hamas
defend Hamas. I know I'm not saying that Hamas doesn't do bad things. But what I'm saying is we need to give the Palestinian people their own fucking sovereignty, a two-state solution, 1967 borders. It really is not that complicated. The only thing that makes it complicated is that the United States government will not fucking do that.
No,
Because
it's
they
Hamas
won't
that's the one
fucking-
that's complicating. It's Hamas that's complicating. It's
No,
not the
it's not.
Palestinians. Yes, who
No,
controls?
it's not. They've come to agreements before, and you can't
Palestine?
force a group of people to demilitarize when
Yeah,
they're
oh,
up against the
Okay, so
when
here's
they're up
this is what you
against
need
the
to look at it.
Israel.
This is how you need to look at it. I'll explain it to you this way. Israel is not going to put themselves in a position where they're going to be slaughtered like they were before. That's why they're to have a
Israel
two-state
did put
solution with
themselves
a
in that
terrorist
position.
organization. Hold on. Israel is not going to put themselves in a situation with a terrorist organization. They're not going to do that.
Okay, this is what I'm talking about,
if
the
the
New World
Palestinian
Order, where we
people- if
hold
the-
one group of people to not the same standard that we hold other group of people to. If Hamas is a terrorist organization, which it is, then so is fucking Israel.
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Not even close.
Yes,
Not
it
even
is.
close.
Yes, it is.
100% close.
No.
It's the same.
Jesus, Kim, are you trying to
The
get
only
my life
reason there was an October 7th is because Israel fucking wanted it. Bibi Netanyahu was caught in a hot mic. He said, we don't want the other people to win. We want Hamas to win. That's why they eased the funding through Qatar to allow the funding of Hamas, because they wanted a militant group there 18 years ago to win that election, because they knew it would lead to an eventual October 7th, because they wanted to go in there and carpet bomb the whole fucking shit so then they can go back in there now and rebuild it and make a bunch of fucking money out of it. Because like I said, Israel wants a greater Israel, and they're not going to fucking stop, and the United States government is going to let them.
Okay,
At
listen. I know
what
about the
cost?
greater Israel
At the
theory.
cost of hundreds of thousands of innocent lives.
I know about the greater Israel theory, and I'm not going to sit here and dispute
It's not a
that,
theory.
but
They literally say that.
it
Israel
is a
always
theory.
says that. Bibi
It's
Netanyahu
a
has said
theory
that.
until it's a theory
Not a
until
theory.
action. It's a theory until action takes place. And
Okay,
they
they're
start
doing it now.
moving.
They're
Okay, no,
literally
they're
doing it now.
All right, so listen. Is the greater Israel theory, like I said, sure, I'm not going to dispute that whatsoever. But you saying that 18 years ago Netanyahu had this magic plan that he knew Hamas
Yes,
was going
he was
to
caught in a hot mic, and he
dude,
literally admitted
you need
that.
to put down the blunt. You need to put down the blunt, because that's the craziest fucking conspiracy I've ever heard of.
It's not a conspiracy. It's been reported. It's literally what they wanted.
All right.
He helped
I'll
the
believe that.
funding
I'll
of-
believe that when I see a pig fly.
Okay, I'll send it to you. He helped the funding of Hamas. through
Trust me,
Qatar
I've looked
because he
into-
wanted the
I've-
Hamas party to win.
Ask-
18 years
ask
ago
me-
when they had an
Hold on.
election.
I've been
Because
on-
the
I've been
opposition
on
of
both
Hamas
sides of the fence.
was not
I've been
a
on both
militant
sides of the
group.
fence with
They
it.
wanted
I've
a
been on both
militant
sides of
group
the
to
fence with
win
it,
because
and
they
I've looked at
wanted
the
to plan out
Palestinian
for this
side, and I've
eventual
looked at the
October
Israel
7th
side, and
attack.
trust me, I've come to the determination that I don't really give a fuck. But that's one thing that I've never seen in any of the research that I've ever seen.
I'll send it
That
to you.
Netanyahu is the one that fucking came
But
up with the entire
you
thing.
wouldn't consider Israel terrorists?
No.
I'm
But
talking about the
so you
Israeli
would- hold on,
military
Kim,
and the
you wouldn't-
extreme right.
you wouldn't
Can we not
consider
say-
that-
can we not say their name? Can we not say their name?
All right, you wouldn't consider that today, but what about you're looking at it today, right? And you're thinking of Hamas. What about when the first Intifada happened, when the second Intifada happened? I think you're fast forwarding and you're looking at through a lens of today. What about when these
No,
people
I know the
already
whole-
had this land? These people already had this land, and these people came in who weren't from here and stole this land, and we fought about it. You would consider these people what if we already have a country?
Colonizers?
No, because they didn't win.
Yes,
These
because
people didn't
every
win.
single. So France didn't win a lot of the wars where they tried to colonize countries. Does that make them terrorists? No. Same thing with America. Does that make them terrorists? No. Because let's talk about Vietnam. We went to Vietnam.
depends
Does that
on the
make us
lens.
Vietnams because we didn't win there? No. It makes no. The argument is never going to make sense, Doc, because they
What I'm
didn't
saying
win.
is-
Doesn't make them a terrorist. I know the
What do
history
you think the
of
people
Israel.
think? What do you think the people think? You don't think
People,
that.
you
over
listen,
there. They think I've been, so I know
that's fine.
That's
fine.
what they think.
Here's what I'll say. Everyone has an opinion, just like they have an asshole. It doesn't mean anything. I don't care what people's opinions
But
are.
I
Everybody
don't-
calls a T group. Everybody calls this a T group, that a T group. In the world that we are right now, everyone wants a boogeyman in the world, and everyone's gonna blame Israel because what's going on in Gaza
made it up.
for 100,000 people that have fucking died. War is war. I'm sorry, I don't really give a fuck. They're
See, I
not a
think it's
terrorist
easy.
organization.
It's easy to
They're
say
not a
that.
terrorist
It's easy to
country.
say that. I think you got to go scrap it up and figure out if war is war. See, it's easy to
War
say
is
it.
war. Okay,
No,
because
it's
here's the
not.
thing. Here's the
It's
thing.
not.
Here's the
You got to
thing.
go scrap it on and find out.
No,
it's not.
It
It's
is,
not.
because
It's easy to say that on the
if
bike.
we don't have people
It's easy to
fighting,
go
then me
scrap
and
your
you.
boots
Okay,
so and
that's
say
fine.
war
That's
is
fine.
war. It's
That's fine.
different.
And hold on,
It's different.
Listen,
It's different
no,
when
it's
you
not
know
different.
what it looks
No,
like.
it's not
Yes, it
different
is.
because if
It's
we didn't have
different.
people fighting for us, then we
It's
would have to
different.
fight on our own land. No, it's not. War
It
is
is.
war.
I think
That's why
I
people
think
I got a question for Doc. Hold on. Doc, somebody that's actually seen war. Did you see children, as many children? Did you see a lot of children getting unalived in Iraq when you went to Iraq? Was it men,
Yes.
children? So it was
Yes.
a lot of children. So
Yes.
war is war then. Because the whole
But-
argument for
but-
why people say this is different in Gaza is over half of the population is children.
Why I tell you that when people say war is war, they don't realize certain things about war, because just like when you see those videos and you say and it makes you grab, you got to magnify that by 1,000,000. You know what I mean? And people don't realize that when someone comes, we use these ideas of T groups and this. Those are just those people's government. And they look at us in the same light when we come because they don't believe what we believe. And I believe in the greatness of America, and I'll fight and I'll die for it. And I'll go over here and I'll do whatever it is that it takes, because my kids gonna live here forever and I ain't going nowhere else. But they believe the same thing we believe, just through the opposite lens. So when you see it like that, it's the same thing. People who just never been, they can't realize. I can respect it because he gonna get up and scrap it up the same way to go defend his country and defend what he got, the same way I gotta go over here and take it to him. You feel me? So I think people, when you do it, you realize it.
Also, somebody wrote in the chat, that's not true. The average population is 25. No, that's not true. Gaza has a very young population. 44% of the population is 0 to 14 years old. 44%. That is almost half. 15 to 24 years old is 21%. So 65% of the population is under the age of 25. That's my point I'm making. That's the difference about this. That's why people are very triggered by this war. Again, war is war. The reality is nobody does anything for anyone for free. And then I'm gonna let Mia have the last word and we're moving on.
I mean, wow, this is a very, very hot topic I see for everybody. It's a very hot topic, but I mean, in a perfect world, there would be a two-state solution. However, in reality, in the real world, Palestinians are just going to be ethnically cleansed at this point in time. And if they ever make it to having some sort of city in Gaza and it's beautiful, they will be redlined and they will be in ghettos. If you think rich elite motherfuckers want Palestinians who they view lower than dirt in the same apartment complexes and condos as them, these are the poorest of the poorest of the poor in the world. So even if they do get to stay in Gaza, they will absolutely be redlined and they will be in modern day ghettos. So either way, they're not getting anything out of this deal. And unfortunately, that's the reality of it. There will never be a two-state solution. Israel is going to get what they want regardless, because they have the backing of all of the money. They control all the cards and they just control the world at this point in time. There's no point in even getting upset by it. It sucks for Palestinians, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. They're just going to have, unfortunately, it wouldn't surprise me in 25 years if we didn't have any Palestinians left, because Israel wants what they want and they're going to get what they get. And that's the fact.
And that's why I said, for me, where I'm at is at least some of them will be able to live and work there. I mean, that's where I'm at. That's the acceptance of where I'm at on this situation. And don't give me a lecture in the chat that I don't care. I deeply care. I cried when this first came out in January, but I saw the writing on the wall, and where I'm at is I want some of them to at least remain. Kamal, what do you think? I know you're probably not going to how much to say you hate this topic.
I surely don't. Where the fuck the popcorn?
All right, we're moving on. You're gonna talk.
Yeah.
You're gonna talk a lot on this topic. All right, so Doc, this is Doc's topic. He told me about this strike. Everybody watching, please hit the like button. Hopefully we're all still friends. It's a very emotional topic. Okay, here we go. This is about the strike.
Nurses picketing all day and for many days here at Mount Sinai. On Wednesday evening, moved to New York Presbyterian Hospital across town for a candlelight vigil to prepare for negotiations set for Thursday. And nurses saying it's not a day too soon. For 10 days. Chant, the honking, and all the noise making has continued, but the prospect now, possibly a major one, is day 11, Thursday.
It's a glimmer of hope. It's light at the end of the tunnel.
Danya Munoz, a nurse practitioner, is on the executive committee of the New York State Nurses Association, or NYSNA, the nurses union. She's talking about how she'll be in the room on Thursday when executives from all three hospital systems, Mount Sinai, New York Presbyterian, and Montefiore, will meet with nurses union leaders along with a mediator to discuss a new contract.
We know how valuable this movement is. It's about the working people. It's about us making a difference and making sure our communities also feel seen and heard.
The nurses say they want to make sure their health insurance packages don't get scaled back and that they get increases in safety at their hospitals as well as higher pay. And now that the strike has worn on for a week and a half, they're feeling it.
We're not getting paid throughout the strike. We don't have health insurance throughout the strike, so most of us have no wages, no health insurance. Nurses have been applying for unemployment.
That may have been a factor, suddenly adding nearly 15,000 people to the unemployment benefit rolls is a sizable hit to the state, the nurses say. And the nurses union saying that big hit to unemployment benefits may have helped to motivate Governor Kathy Hochul to work with Mayor Zohran Mamdani to get the hospitals to the negotiating table. Meanwhile, New York Presbyterian confirming it intends to be at the table.
Look, you got an
and
award.
is
I got
working
the
with
number
mediator
2.
to figure out an exact place and time for Thursday. We will certainly be all over this as usual with updates right up to the minute.
All right, Kamal, I need you to go clown some people in the chat, but also to respond to that clip. Is the New York City strike coming to a city near you, and do you support them?
Nah, I don't need to clown nothing, man. Y'all the one got Ryan Bussy hurting. Shit. Yeah, Bussy hurt. Ain't even butt hurt. He Bussy hurt. He like, God, I hate all you niggas on the panel. Except for Kimberly. Kimberly, give your cash app. You got people that's going to give you money.
Oh, I did. I made a cash app.
Yes. Send your cash app in the chat.
Send it.
Maybe
hey, Ryan, you
will
like
send you
Kimberly?
some pennies.
Cash app. Goddamn.
Yes, I did it. Okay, I'll send it right here. Apparently, I already had one, so I had to put a 1 next to my name, so it's my name and the number 1.
Okay.
Ryan sound like a trick.
He's like, don't have kids, Mia. And it's like, too bad, dude. My oldest is about to be 16. He's about to be on the streets running you over. So you better believe.
Ryan, better make sure you put your money where your mouth is. Make sure you say your $2 because that's all you probably have. Seem like a broke bum.
Damn. Speaking of money where your mouth is, hey, yeah, pay our nurses more. They need to pay nurses, teachers, all that shit. Pay them more, you feel me? It's kind of sad to see this shit, though, to be honest. Like, nurses have to strike so they can have better health care. Don't that sound silly, y'all? They working in the hospital, but they healthcare shitty. They can't afford to be in their own hospital they work in. That is crazy. That's absurd. You know? I mean, but hey, I don't know how long else they're gonna be striking for, you feel me? Because once them bills start piling up, I think these corporations be knowing that shit too. Like, they could play the long game with a lot of stuff. So I hope the nurses win out there in New York City, because if they win there, that's a win for all nurses in all across the country. You feel me? But to hear that they striking for better health care and like higher pay, god damn, that's just whew.
Doc, what's your thoughts? You brought this story to me. Is there anything that you want to add that the story didn't touch on?
Shout out to one of my best friends, Shauna. She's a nurse at Mount Sinai, so she's on strike. She's out there too. She probably somewhere in the chat. Shauna, you don't have to respond because they have a filter and they probably will filter out your comments because I know your type of language. Nurses being on strike, and she was explaining it to me. Their healthcare would have increased so much, like for them to afford it without them getting a raise, that it will become like to a point where they almost wouldn't be able to live and pay this, which is crazy because they live, they work in a hospital. I wish Shauna would have put her cash app in the chat because she hit me the other day. But that's my dog. I love you, girl. And I just think it's hard because my friend, she went to school. She worked during the daytime. She went to school at night. She slaved. I know she went a long time trying to get, her license to be a nurse, to be an RN, and she worked really hard for it. So it's a shame to see it. A lot of these women work really hard. They have families. Some of them are single moms, and they're out here and they're just fighting for equality. So, or fighting for what they deserve, actually, because healthcare is one of the hardest jobs. When we had COVID, it's one of the few jobs that people actually still had to go do. I know Mia's in healthcare, so shout out to Mia. They have a hard job, and no matter what happens in the world, a lot of these healthcare people are still going to go to work no matter what. So I hate to see it for them.
And so you guys know, to add what wasn't in that video, there's 15,000 nurses. They walked off. They've been off the job since January 12th. This is the largest nurse strike in New York City history. They're from the Mount Sinai, like you named, New York Presbyterian, and Montefiore Medical Center. Also, the reason why they're striking is due to key demands of safe staffing ratios, protections against workplace violence, preservation and funding of healthcare benefits, pay increases, and improved working conditions. They're still now they're finally starting to start the negotiations up. This clip right here breaks it down, and then I'll let Mia explain because she's a nurse.
What up, Nurse Game? We are headed down to NYC. This is the biggest story I've ever come across or had put in my lap in the 5 years of doing this. Remember, I just posted that last video and I said there's something fraudulent going on in NYC. The strike company VCP sent out something in payroll saying we've had a fraudulent number of timesheets, people that are not working with our company. So we have to go through these, and make sure these payroll slips are valid. Come to find out, remember I said I don't think nurses are, for a couple of $1,000s that are real nurses, are willing to submit fraudulent slips. How would they even get access to this company's system? It didn't make no sense. How would they have access to all this company's stuff? It just didn't make any sense. Why is it somebody that works for the company themselves? Nurse hits me up and is like, they gathered my information. I'm not even there. They told me they didn't need me for the contract. I'm in a whole nother state, in Florida somewhere. And the NICU manager is emailing me saying, oh, we want to do a couple of questions before you come on. She's like, I'm not coming on. What do you mean? He said, oh, they told me you signed a contract. This was on the 10th. She's like, no, I didn't. Something prompted her to go look in the system. They had her in there as working since the 1st of January. Then she's in a group chat with 17 nurses in one, 15 nurses in the other, all saying, what is going on? We never went to work. Are we getting a schedule? Are we getting sent home? The guy who's working at the company is back and forth in there with them like, I got to see, I don't really know. They captured all these nurses' information. Don't have any of them working, saying that they're probably not going to pay them, and telling them, you better not show up at the hospital. Don't step foot in that hospital. So they basically, seems like, just got nurses there, gathered their information, got them to orientation, and have dummy accounts set up for everyone, and they're skimming. And they even have some nurses that didn't even get to orientation. They've captured, so they're probably billing the hospital for thousands of fake nurses. This is why the CEO of Mount Sinai thinks he's overstaffed. Let's take a look at the evidence. January 10th, this nurse gets an text message from Megan Clampett, who is the manager at Mount Sinai. And she says, good afternoon. This is Megan Clampett, nurse manager from Mount Sinai NICU. Can I please have your email address? I'd like to ask you a few clinical questions in preparation for next week. She says, you know, and then she sends it again. Friendly reminder, send me your email. The lady says, good night, Megan. I apologize for delayed response. I haven't been offered a position with VCP for the upcoming strike. I've reached out several times expressing my availability. Sorry for the confusion. I'm certain you guys and VCP are overwhelmed with the situation. She said, that's so odd. I received your name and number from VCP, but I suppose you didn't sign a contract? She said, no, they haven't sent me one. She said, okay, thank you. That prompted her to go look back in that VCP portal that she forgot about because she's not going. They told her she didn't get in. They got her in there for a full, look at the schedule. VCP Hospital, Mount Sinai, NICU 3, from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. from the 1st all the way down to the 28th. Then she goes and look and say, well, maybe it's it was just put in there. Status, active, days remaining 11, 1.5 weeks, started the 1st, end date the 28th. This woman is in Florida. So now the man tells everybody in these group chats, all these nurses, that the hospital decided not to go forward with any of you from this hotel group. It's unfortunate. We don't agree with them, but we're not sure we're going to pay you the 60 hours. Nurse is like, can we see the email? How long is it going to take for them to compensate us? Like, they don't know what is going on. And then he said, sorry for the lateness of the text. I spoke with the hospital and they decided that anyone who went to orientation cannot come to any of the hospitals tomorrow. If you do, it will permanently ruin your chances of employment at the hospital. So please take the day off. To reiterate, if you went to orientation yesterday, you are to stay at home today. This is for everybody who went to orientation yesterday. Thank you. Yeah, after they went to orientation, you already have them checked in as employees. Huh? And you're going to steal all their info. I knew nurses would not be doing this. I knew it. It's their own company. They done captured who knows how many nurses' information from all over the nation and have them in there as dummy employees. What are your thoughts? Let's talk about
it. Before I let Doc do his final thoughts, I just want to add, the other thing is, to make it worse, they're saying that if they don't return back to work, they're going to lose employer-paid health coverage after February 1st, forcing many to pay high COBRA rates for their plans. Ma'am Donnie, who was the mayor of NYC, and U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders have shown public support for the strike, drawing national attention and debate over policy. Doc, I'm going to let you do your closing thoughts first, and then I'll have Mia respond.
Great show, everyone. Obviously, we don't have the answer to some of these political questions. We just get up here and we share our opinions. And I would encourage some of you guys to be a little bit more open to hearing other people's political opinions. Me and Enzo disagreed on the topic today. Still love Enzo. I'm in Enzo's live all the time. I don't get off of here and carry any feelings about any political ideals I have on here with anyone. So I encourage a lot of y'all in the chat and a lot of the people in just in everyday life to live that same way. You will learn a lot. Sometimes I get a point of view from everybody on the cast, even if we disagree, that I just don't see it some way. Sometimes we come from two different worlds, and everybody in this country is living a different lifestyle sometimes, and we may not all see it the same way, but we are all in America, and we got to come together and do what's best for our country. So I just wish everybody the best. Be open, use your critical thinking, and be blessed.
Thanks, Doc, for coming. Right. I'm gonna we'll just start doing closing thoughts. Mia, you go first.
I support those nurses down in New York, and I understand how difficult nursing is, and a lot of people don't understand the sacrifice it gets to not only make it through nursing school, but to pass your NCLEX and get any sort of further certifications and any sort of further specialties. People don't quite realize how sick Americans are, specifically the ones that end up in the hospital. And for every patient a nurse takes, anything over 4 or 5, you have a 7% chance of surviving. So staffing ratios are one of the most important things. I would say staffing ratios or proper staffing ratios will literally be life or death. There's a reason why ICU nurses really only take one patient, maybe two if they're lucky. Some of these people are the sickest people you will ever meet in your freaking life. And it's not just nurses, it's also the floor aides. I mean, everybody is overworked and underpaid. As somebody who works in the healthcare industry, do you know hospitals don't even offer maternity leave? Can you imagine working in labor and delivery, being pregnant yourself and not having any time, no maternity leave? People don't quite understand. I mean, it's literally in the trenches. And these nurses are lucky because they're part of a union. So at least they have the collective bargaining. 99.9% of nurses out there are not part of a union. They do not have collective bargaining. And it is like living in the trenches. So I think a lot of people think this is some sort of money grab, but it is not. This is life and death. If you want to survive when you make it to the hospital, we need proper ratios. We need healthy, happy nurses in order to make you survive. Straight up, because the amount of contact you're going to have with a nurse versus the amount of contact you're going to have with the doctor is vastly different. The doctor's going to come in for like 20 minutes a day, especially if you're admitted, if you're lucky. Nurses are legitimately the backbone of the hospital. Your nurses and your CNAs are the freaking backbone of the goddamn hospital. And it is crazy to me that New Yorkers get subpar care from strike nurses that are just there to clock a check because they don't want to pay people properly and they don't want ordinary average New Yorkers to survive, and they want to overload their nurses, especially on med surge with 10, 12, 20 people. That's fucking insane. You got to stop treating healthcare workers like crap if you want to survive.
And so what's your closing thoughts?
Can I get a mic drop from Mia? Like, goddamn.
Hold on. Let me find it real quick. Damn it, I can't find it. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah.
For real.
Mia.
My closing thoughts are this was a great episode. Like Doc said, I'm gonna echo what you said. I love having these political discussions with everybody. I don't expect for everybody to sit here and agree with everything we say. What we do agree on is we have the same end goal. We just have different vehicles to get there. That's what we all want, is a prosperous life for ourselves, our children, our children's children. That's what we all want. It might look differently to everybody else, and that's the point of having these conversations. That's the point of the new party, is to bounce these ideas and have these conversations. To what's going on in New York, I see both sides of the coin. As somebody who is a union worker myself, I understand the importance of being in a union, having this collective bargaining, but at the same time, I don't like how it turns into strikes and everything like this. Unions need to do better so it doesn't come to this type of situation. They need to be negotiating on behalf of their people in the meantime, so it doesn't come down to this at the end of your contract and you guys go and your wages go to shit and you guys get your benefits taken away, et cetera, et cetera. That's the one thing that I wish that unions would do better at, instead of putting their people on the front line, making them suffer when the union heads are the ones that are making, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars. I mean, we could look at what the Longshoremen Association, when they went on strike last year, you got the one guy standing out there in the port of Newark wearing a fucking $30,000 gold chain, rolling up in a Rolls Royce, while his people are standing out there. I thought this collective bargaining, so they all made money and everybody it worked out. But I understand why they're doing it, but that's just the one thing of the union's part. It's not on the nurses themselves part at all. I understand why they're doing it. But with that being said, I hope everyone has a good night and a great weekend, and stay safe if you are in the area of destruction for whatever snow is going to be coming. So stay warm, everybody. Everybody have a great weekend.
Stay warm. That's a good point. Kamal, what's your closing thoughts?
Yeah, this is a great episode. Learned a lot. I be appreciating everybody on the panel. You feel me? Y'all go check them out. They all have their own TikToks and YouTubes. You feel me? Also, check out the new party. Sub to the channel. Hit a like. Hit a reshare. Also, hit the notification bell so you know when they go live. On my end, Kamal Johnson Network. Hit your bro with a sub. Hit your bro with a like. Reshare. And also hit the notification bell so you know when we go live. Shout out to the chat. Y'all is very balanced with the hate today. I love it. You feel me? All of us got it, like from Doc to Enzo to Mia. God damn, Kimberly, you had a little. Somebody was hating on you too. You feel me?
Yeah,
I mean,
somebody
got a little hate, but you feel me? We all got hit with something. I love it. This is the point of the new party, right? You feel me? This, like, you know, people are not gonna agree. You feel me? But at the end of the day, as long as we come with an understanding, all right. Greenland, don't take the deal. Y'all getting money, man. Y'all gonna get shysted, all right? Y'all, if they say, hey, we're gonna give you some dough, it ain't happening. You feel me? Hey, I don't know if we're gonna take over Greenland or not, but I say this. As a Black American, we know how America deals with people. And when it comes to money dealings, just stay away, okay? God damn. But at the end of the day with Greenland, I don't know if they could even protect themselves or whatever like that. And Denmark actually told Donald Trump to kind of, yo, hey, F off, bro. We not selling shit. But at the end of the day, money talks. And, you know, if not only with money, if you got a big enough army to go along with that dough, you know, you could do a lot of things. Prime Minister of Canada, god damn, what a snooze fest. You gotta get a different spokesperson, because god damn it, that shit was boring as hell. Also what we talked about with the nurses, it's a damn shame that nurses is about to have health care that they can't afford in their own goddamn hospital. That's crazy. That is fucking insane. So if they get injured, they gotta go to another hospital. They can't go in their own hospital. That is absurd. Goodness. Anyway, hope everybody have a lovely weekend. And yeah, y'all know what time it is, y'all. It's time for me to start the clowning. Ryan, you got llama balls in your mouth. Hey, bro, I'm gonna still give you a shout out because you was in the chat. You was going back and forth and stuff, but you gotta get the llama first, bro. We can't really understand you, bro. All right, but no, shout out to you, bro. You did hold it down. And at the end of the day, bro, if you call people out their name, bro, you not gonna know what's gonna happen. And I love that Nora hit with the crash out. I ain't never heard Nora curse like that before. God damn. All right, shit.
It was a demon. Yeah, right. It was Kimberly's friend. That's really what it is.
Oh, I will have to say this. I will have to say this. Nora came back to hosting and like shit was going spicy. God damn. Hey, Nora, you bring the spicy out of people. I will say that.
No, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. No, I need a break. This is the thing. I need a break. I need a vacation. I might take a few days off next week. I might only do one day next week. I'm just letting you know, I need a break. I'm tired. It's been a long personal day for me. I'm ready to go. But go ahead, Kimberly. What's your closing thoughts?
I am no friend of anybody who is mean to Nora. Okay, I separate myself from anybody who said anything mean to Nora. Okay. Oh, and I'm kind of sad that my other friends left. I wanted a kumbaya too. I know I got a little colorful. I'm very passionate when it comes to the issue of war and destruction. My politics are the politics of Jesus, my Lord and Savior. Yeah, I want to look more into that strike story because I am a syndicalist and I love a good strike. And I think that we need to expand and enforce labor unions in this country. We love that. And also, I was going to get here on time, but the traffic was bad because there's rain today for some reason. I don't know if there's rain down in San Diego.
Safety is first.
Yeah, but there was rain not at all last week or the next week, just fucking today. And people don't know how to drive in the rain. But that Davos speech from that Canadian Prime Minister is like, honestly, I'm such a nerd. Like, I would have loved to see a President Obama respond to that because Donald Trump's stupid response was like so moronic, like the fucking idiot that he is. It's so embarrassing.
We did play that response.
What an embarrassment to be an American.
It really was kind of like fast. It was like, but yeah.
That's our president. This guy's speech was so well written and so eloquent. I think he's self-interested.
He made us go to sleep, Kim. Come on, were we not
But if
going-
you listen to the words, he's basically saying what the whole world except the United States knows, which is that
Kimberly,
what?
you okay? Let me be real right now.
Yes.
And yeah, it may seem like I'm taking the red pill right now, but damn it, I'm about to swallow the red.
No, do it.
But don't you women always tell us men it's not what you say, it's how you say it?
I don't know.
I'm just saying how that president was saying shit. He could have been saying the most greatest thing ever.
That's why I'm saying like a Barack Obama's response to that would have been fucking beautiful. Even though I'm no fan of Barack Obama, because Barack Obama's charismatic and he's well spoken and he's just as smart.
I think if Barack Obama said that speech, the Canada guy speech, I probably would have been more interested.
Right.
Like, literally, we were following, and remember, I see the view count. You don't. Y'all don't see what I see on my side.
Mm.
And as I'm listening to Bro's speech, we went from 50 people to 20 people. I swear to God.
We should have maybe just showed like the last 10 seconds where he like summarized it. But the crux of his speech is honestly like we're starting a new chapter now. There's like a new world order now because he said the quiet part out loud. And I don't know if
He's right.
I don't know if my homie sat down with La Tierra Madre Pachamama Ayahuasca, had a spiritual awakening, or I don't know what the fuck, but he's literally just calling out American bluff. And it's crazy to me that this guy said it because he's a fucking centrist. He's like a banker. He came from Harvard. He's not like a working class hero or a progressive, you know? Like I would have expected something like that from a Claudia Sheinbaum like a long time ago. But to hear it from this guy, oh my God, it is mind-boggling to me. I was literally wagging my tail. I watched that speech like 5 times. And then another guy at the Davos convention was talking, they asked him about the Iranian sanctions. And he's like, yeah, these illegal economic sanctions are causing havoc all over the world. I sent you guys that Lancet study that says that, oh my gosh, I'm going off on a tangent. I'm so sorry. Please cut me off. But I just want to say that my politics are the politics of Jesus, and I can kumbaya with anybody. And I am not communist, and I am not a Trumper. But thanks for listening.
Anton Daniels would be proud of you, Kimberly.
What happened?
Anton Daniels would be proud of you, for real. Christian first.
Oh, Christian first.
I don't know who that is.
We talked about him on Wednesday night stream.
Oh, okay.
Last week. Okay, so the reality is this, guys. Your friend Gray will be back. Don't worry. I know you guys are a lot of lefties. Thank you. Appreciate you in the chat. And even if you are, we are the new party. We represent all sides. It got heated tonight. I'm going to tell you what ticked me off before I say my closing thought. Listen, guys, Brian, what got me heated is when, like, I don't like when you name call anybody in the panel. Anybody. And all night he's been from Kamal to Enzo all night. This is not the purpose of the new party. If you guys think it's cool to attack us, that's fine. But just know you're going to get a response from me. That's the reality. And that was my reaction. We don't have to agree. The whole point of the new party is we're all different sides. We all want the same thing. And Enzo said it best. We're all trying to get on this ride of life in America to get to the same end goal. But we all have different routes to get there. But it's the same. We all care about our country. We all care about our family. And we all have a moral responsibility, whether you believe in God or you believe in just being a good person. But regardless, America does not apologize for leadership, guys. We are a sovereign nation with the responsibility and the right to protect our people, our interests, and our future. History is clear. When America leads, the world is more stable. When America retreats, chaos fills the vacuum. We saw it in World War II. We saw it in World War I. And the reality is people always come to us and ask us for help. What y'all need to realize is we are being preemptive. We don't want another Ukraine. We want to ensure we protect Greenland's interests because Greenland is going to be ground zero for when World War III happens. And to Mia's point, we're probably already in it. We are the world superpower. It's not about the domination. It's about deterrence, security, and preserving freedom in an increasingly dangerous world. Our strategic decisions, including expanding our presence in regions like Greenland, are critical. It's about national defense, global stability and staying ahead of adversaries who are already positioning themselves in the Arctic. Like, supposedly, from what I heard, China wants it. So who would you rather have, us or China? What side are you on? You need to ask yourself this. I understand America has had injustices in our history. I'm not saying that they haven't, but I'm on America's side. Kamal even acknowledges that. Kamal wants America to win because Kamal knows if we don't win as a country and you live here, the whole ship goes down, and he's on it. America must think generations ahead, not election cycles ahead. Sovereignty means controlling our destiny, securing vital resources, and ensuring that no rival power dictates the power of the global order. Strength is not something we inherit, it's something we must maintain, and America must always choose strength, leadership, and unapologetic national interest, which is us, the US. Nevertheless, if you guys are in a cold place, I pray you stay safe and warm. Thank you for your support, and God bless everyone, and good night.
Family, we want to take a moment and speak directly to you. What we're building here with the new party is more than just content. It's more than commentary. It's a community, a space for independent voices, honest conversations, and people who are tired of being talked at instead of talked with. Right now, we're raising funds for something very special. Our new party, Castrith. An in-real-life content experience coming April 2026. This trip allows us to bring the team together in person. Many of us who have only worked virtually to create real, high-quality, independent media. Media that isn't funded by corporations. Media that isn't controlled by political parties. Media that answers only to the people. Our goal is $5,000, and every dollar goes directly toward hotel accommodations for the team, food and travel necessities, studio and production space, so we can bring you even better content. Your donation isn't just helping us travel, it's helping us continue. It's helping us stay independent. It's helping us grow. And it's helping us build something that lasts. Right. By the end of this year, our dream is to host a watch party, bringing the team together and opening the doors to the public. Donations like this make that possible. They help turn an online movement into a real-world community. We truly look forward to meeting all of you one day. But for now, we're incredibly excited to finally meet each other, to strengthen this team, too, and to bring you even more meaningful, powerful content. If you believe in independent media, if you believe in community over corporations, if you believe voices like ours deserve a seat at the table, please consider donating to our GoFundMe, becoming a member, or supporting us by buying merch. No contribution is too small. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for believing in us, for rocking with us, and for helping the new party continue to grow. We couldn't do this without you.